Hey baby, welcome back. Got this new nail tutorial here for you guys. It is gray with a little bit of green in them, and I love these so much. And I have been getting so many compliments on them, so y'all know I had to show you. Let's get started. Okay, girl, so I'm trying to do other nails other than stiletto. Those are my heart and soul. So I picked out these just long square tips and I went ahead and sized them out before I started the video. I do this just to, save us a little time. So I go in with 3 coats of dehydrator first, and then I take 1 coat of this nail primer and I just go on top of those dehydrated nails with that, making sure that I do not touch any of the skin or cuticle area of my nails when doing this. Then right after I do my primer, I go ahead and place on a base coat on top of all of my nails. The primer is just to help the base coat stick better. But yeah, I placed on my base coat and then I cured my nails under my lamp for, I believe, 30 seconds. I think that's my little sweet spot for that. And then I go ahead and take some of my Gel-X glue and I place it on the back of that nail where it's going to meet my actual nail, just to make sure it sticks really nicely. And then once I've done that, I go ahead and just place that press on top of my nail. By the way, these press-ons are the actual Gel-X nails, so they already have an etched out backing, so that saves one little step for me to do that. After placing on the nail, I put it under my little tulip lamp for about 10 seconds, and then I place them under my big lamp for 60 seconds, and then that's it. So then I went in with my drill just to get those cuticles together because I did have a little bit of spillage, but that's okay. As you can see, it easily comes off, and then it's like it never happened. Voila. By the way, this drill bit is tea. She is tea. I actually got this from a nail supply store. I got a few things from this video from my local nail supply store. Mwah, chef's kiss. Beautiful, love it. So once my cuticles were all done, I then went ahead and clipped the nails down just a little bit. I literally just clipped right under where the number is on the back of the nails because I do like to wear my nails long. That is just my preference. And after that, I just go in with the coarse side of my nail file and just get a nice straight preliminary file of the nails. And then once the nails are filed, I go in with a little bit of base coat. As you can see, these nail tips are not very shiny at all, so I do not have to buff or file the tops of these tips at all before placing on any gel. And I love that so much. These tips just really save me a lot of time. Adding the base coat, I place them under my lamp for 60 seconds and then I go ahead and get started with my builder gel. Before I start my application process, I just take a little bit of my alcohol acetone mix and clean my brush off. Then I take a little bit of that builder gel and just condition my brush that I'm going to be using across one of my little nail plates. And that just helps the brush not to be so stiff and it be easier for me to apply the gel on top of the nails. I found that that's very easy for me to do when I condition my brush. So it's something that I just always do now. This is my Jelly Milky White. I think that's the name of it. Self-leveling builder gel. I love this builder gel because no matter how I place this gel on, there are no bubbles or anything, and everything just comes together so perfectly. The only thing you have to do once you have finished one nail is you just flip that nail over and then it just starts leveling all on its own. Now, I know a lot of gels do pretty well with leveling, but self-leveling gel tends to be a lot more thick than your average UV gel. So I love them. I try not to stray from them at all because they're a lot easier to work with. And you probably noticed me just applying the gel on a little bit sloppily, but that's okay because at the end I am going to be going in with a striper brush just to kind of level the nails out a little bit more, that gel out some more. After I have held my hand upside down and it levels on its own, then I'm just going to smooth it out with that striper brush. So don't worry, girl, we're going to fix it. Okay, so now I'm taking some of that builder gel on a striper brush and then just balancing out the rest of the gel on the nail by going in an up and down motion before curing for 60 seconds. After that 60-second cure, I just go in with my next coat of gel. I believe I just did 2 coats of builder gel on my nails with the milky white. So yeah, this is that second coat. As you can see here, I'm just taking the bead and going straight down the nail. I'm trying to go over the nails as many times as I need to, just to make sure that gel is really like flattened out and leveled out so that I won't have to do so much filing once I've finished applying the product and everything has been cured. So yeah, that is why you see me just trying to make sure this gel application is as smooth as possible. And there they are, all ready to be cured for 60 seconds under the lamp. Right, so now that the nails are cured and they're cleaned off with alcohol, I then just go and take my large sanding bit and I just sand the nails down, up and down, just to get a preliminary file on them. Nail surface, I should say. So after I finish filing all my nails down, the first time I go in with my smaller bit and just make sure that those cuticles are all cleaned up. Getting those cuticles are crucial because not only will it allow for your nail polish to lie nice and pretty on that cuticle area, it can also help your nails grow and there not be any like cuticle damage from you having so much product on that area. And after we finish with those cuticles, I just go ahead and take my hand file and straighten up these nails, get them nice and sharp on the edges and on the very tip of the nail. Then once I'm satisfied, I go ahead and take some alcohol and spray the nails down. And then I take a nail brush, like a cuticle brush, and I start brushing that excess dust off. Afterwards, I go in with a little bit of cuticle oil and I brush it out with this old acrylic brush that I have cleaned, and that's all I use it for. And then I just take my nail buff and start buffing the nails. This just allows a nice, smooth, clean buff in my opinion. I love doing this. And now that they are filed and buffed, we can go ahead and start with our polish. So on camera, this polish looks a little blue, and in person it looks blue kind of as well. What it is like a really soft gray. I thought it would be cute for January. It's cold outside, so it was giving me those type of vibes. But yes, it definitely looks blue, but it is a light gray. We have a much darker gray, but I definitely would not have wanted to try it with these tips. I don't know, maybe, but I went with the light gray and I really like the way it turned out, so I'm not complaining at all. I did go in with 2 coats of this light gray on the nails. I could have afforded 3, but I went with 2 coats. And I cured both coats under my lamp for 60 seconds because we are wearing longer nails, so we definitely want to make sure that everything cures nicely. So I went for the 60. And then after I got those cured, I went in with this cute little silver cream polish that I have. And I took that polish on top of that cured thumb, and I just went in like this swirl pattern where it's going to be me putting the stones on top of it. I just needed this as a base, because a lot of times when I'm going to cluster up stones, I want to have like a shimmery base at the bottom just to kind of fill in any missing cracks. So here's the cute little rock stone medley we are going to be using for our little swirl. And now I'm just putting some glue gel over that cured silver like shiny polish we have. But yeah, I put that gel on the nail with the brush just to make sure it's nice and flat and even. And then I just go into my little stones here and yeah, swirl it up the nail. So what I'm doing here, because this little medley that I do have has multiple stones, what I'm doing is I'm just pulling out all of the green rocks and green stones that I would like to use for this little swirl pattern. Green crystals, there was some white ones I chose, clear, the, jelly looking ones. That's what I wanted in here. But there are a couple of rhinestones in there from other kits I have, and a green little butterfly that I had in another kit. So the color was green. That was the theme. And by the way, I am so sorry for how the polish looks on this thumb. I did clean it off and get rid of it off camera. I just want you guys to know I did clean that area up, but oh my God, looking back, it looks so crazy. But yeah, I cleaned it off with the extra skin removal tool. Yeah, she came in handy. So after I cured this little swirl for the first time, I went in with a little bit more gel just to enclose those stones that I have on already. And then I went in with just a few more stones around the areas where I applied the glue, just to make this swirl look a little bit more exaggerated, because at this point it was looking a little thin to me. So I just went ahead and added more of those green and white stones. And then once I got the stones the way I wanted them on the nail, I went ahead and cured them under my lamp for, I don't know if it was 60 or 30 seconds, but probably 60 seconds. But yeah, I cured those under the lamp before moving on. And I have these really cute little stones and flower decals and leaf decals as well that I'm pulling out, that I'm going to be using on that middle finger. So I just put the glue gel on the nail, and then I just take a brush to flatten it out a little bit to make sure it's just even there. That's my reason for doing that. And here you see me just adding my little design here, just putting the roses and the leaves and all the other little stones that I have. But this was not what I was intending to do with my middle nail like in the beginning, but it did end up being what I went for, and I still liked it. It was still pretty. These flowers and the leaves actually glow in the dark, and I had no idea that they did that. It was so crazy when I noticed it. So just like I did on the thumb finger, I wanted to make sure that this line of stones was very, well, at least a little thick, just a little thick. I didn't want it really thin, so I did double up the stones, but I didn't end up having to put more glue. I just doubled them up on the sides. And then when I was done placing my stones the way I wanted them, I went ahead and set my entire hand under the lamp for 30 seconds so they could cure, and then I can just move on to top coat after that. But yeah, I've gotten so many compliments on these nails. When I tell y'all my nails is my outfit, it really is, because I could look so trashy and then people are like, oh my God, your nails are so cute, and I'm like, thank you. So I do apologize for not posting as much as I should be, but girl, I got a lot of hats in the air, so y'all just please continue to be patient. I really would appreciate it. Like, really, really appreciate it. I'm going to get my stuff together, I promise. So now the stones are done and I've placed them under the lamp. So I'm just going in with some top coat, and I'm being sure to like stipple, or I think it's stipple, the gel into the petals on those flowers, because I do not want any food or makeup or anything like that to get stuck in the nail decals. I just find that to be so nasty. So I definitely make sure that those petals are top coated. Alright, so after the stones and the flowers, the full nail has been top coated. This is what we have. This is the thumb. This is the rest of my hand. So much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.